All right, good morning, YouTube land. Let me know if you can hear me, please. Thank you. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Risk disclosure statement. There is a risk of loss in trading stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, derivatives, options, forex, and cryptocurrencies. This risk can be substantial, and therefore investors should carefully consider their financial suitability prior to trading. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. The software, strategies, chat trends, websites, and any associated websites or digital venues are for educational purposes only and should not be construed as an express or implied promise or guarantee that you will profit or that losses may be limited in any manner whatsoever. Users of the information accept sole responsibility for the outcomes of their deployment and most Apple Trader, LLC, and any associated companies, agents, management, owners, and customers harmless without preservation. Please trade responsibly. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, Rule 4.41, hypothetical and simulated trading performance results have certain inherent limitations, some of which are described herein. No representation is being made that any account holder is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. In fact, there are frequently sharp differences between hypothetical or simulated performance results and the actual results subsequently achieved by any particular trading program. One of the limitations of hypothetical performance results is that they are generally prepared with the benefit of hindsight. In addition, hypothetical trading does not involve financial risk, and no hypothetical trading record can completely account for the impact of financial risk in actual trading. For example, the ability to withstand losses or adhere to a particular trading program in spite of trading losses on material points which can also adversely affect actual trading results. Because these trades have not actually been executed, the hypothetical results may amount or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. There are numerous other factors related to the markets in general or to the implementation of any specific trading program which cannot be fully accounted for in simulated trading or in the preparation of hypothetical performance results in all, of which can adversely affect actual trading results.
This trade room and its webinars are not intended to mirror my trades or to give specific trade recommendations. Analysis and subs I share trades and potential trades that I'm taking for myself based on my personal analysis. The goal of this room is to teach traders how to identify specific areas of trade and manage themselves, but ultimately the decision is yours. Trading is extremely risky, and if you decide to follow my personal trades, you can slow your own risk and can potentially lose your entire account and even more. I'm not always profitable, and I have routine drawdowns on my trading accounts. The spreadsheet you have access to is my personal spreadsheet that I use to enter zone values and ATR values and how we do exact prices for my trades. You can see when I add zone prices into the master spreadsheet as well as the prices to enter trades whether you want to go long or short. You have the ability to copy the spreadsheet and enter your own values and use right to confirm zone prices until you draw the zones correctly yourself. The spreadsheet is not telling you which direction to trade, as it has entry prices and stop prices for both long and short positions depending on which way you personally decide to trade. All right, good morning. Some stuff firing off here. Actually just shorted crude. There was some OPEC news, but ran into a mouthful of sell ice up here. And this were a couple of my areas. My important areas that I look for: SI events, stop iceberg events that are the driver of my trading. Hold on here, I'll get my chart going. So sell ice in this zone. This zone is multiple important things happen. A bunch of selling tails, especially. Well, I can't talk today. A little under the weather too, so bear with me. Basically the top of this smaller balance. So crude's at a very important area here. My mouse is very slow today with this OBS software. Bigger balance area, and it's kind of just building balance right here. This breaks. This could be a whopper move lower. I don't have a strong opinion as far as trading double size here. As far so what I do is I'm a day trader. I trade both ways, longs and shorts, depending on my areas, and we have rules for these iceberg events, depending on which way it breaks from the event to decide if I'm going long or short. So when I say my thesis is in a certain direction, it's basically just a guess, right? But if my thesis is in line with the real-time order flow information coming in, the SI events, then I will trade bigger size. So right now I don't really have an opinion here, but if this little balance, it's not little, a couple days, balance breaks, I'm going to be trading double size short. But currently I am short in Izzy. That's in the inflection zone off of the sell ice, and I took an ILUG-U. So these are my trading strategies here that I'm referring to. Go over these the whole webinar. Izzy, inflection zone trades. So those are the zones I draw, the 4 important areas of charting. Tops and bottoms of balance areas, high volume nodes of balance areas, buying and selling tails, and directional conviction. I will show you those as we go along. And then the other trade here was the iceberg. In this case, it's a sell iceberg at the Ludwig level. So that was this here. And I have a pick on too. So I have 3 strategies on here. So pick as the profiles encourage, that is when I get a volume event in these market profile composite areas where there are composite are just value areas of days that are merged together. Obviously these two are not, but this one was. Ripped up here, got the sell ice, took that trade. I lug you, ripped up here, took the sell ice. I got the sell ice, took that trade. So I'm short all these strategies. I actually have to put my stop in. The great thing about this is how I trade my stops based on real events that happen, right? So this market did move in my favor. I don't just trail my stop to break even just because I want to break even. You're just opening yourself for the algo nonsense, right? That traders do that, retail traders do that. But now I do have a new event, so I can trail my stop. So my original stop, this is the zone drawer tool. I'll put this my document in the chat here in a second. My original stop was up here near 70, 80, probably 83-ish. Now I have a new event. I can trail my stop down. This is supposed to be, this yellow line is supposed to be where I'm stopping out, 70.41. I don't, the best I can, I do not stop out in prior events because the market so often will come into that and then bounce off of it. So my stop should be here for these shorts. I'm going to move them up to 70.56. So I'm still saving 30 ticks of risk here now based on this new event. So let me put those in. And we heard something in. I'm currently long ES, and I just heard something in NASDAQ. I'll go over that here in a second. What did I say? 70.56.
Says we are committed to President Biden's original proposal. Any deal should include Israel's withdrawal from Gaza.
Making all these in 83. And 36. Sorry guys, I gotta funnel through these different accounts, getting this stuff in here. Missing. Which one am I? Alright, so those are working. So if that does rip back up there, I will be out of that trade. And then there's potential trades, obviously, off of this guy too. So I'll come back there in a second. I think I'm missing a trade here in NASDAQ as we speak. We had some sell ice up here and then buy stops. Missing a trade. Hold on, Mr. NASDAQ. I don't think this is an ISI zone, no. This was the top of the balance. I did contemplate making this a zone, but it wasn't. Not a lot of stuff happened up here. I did have something from over here, so I guess I could have kept that in there. So this was a potential ISI if you guys in my trade room are using these zones. So these zones are, part of my trade room. You get these for free, or you can get them on my other website. I guess I should have probably kept that in there. So I could have taken that as short. Maybe I will still take that. So that entry was off the stop run. It should have been basically right here at 1964 quarter. So I'll take this ISI. I should have just left it in there. I'm going to take an ISI short here. Hold on, NASDAQ. You're running off the page on me. All right, so I missed it. So because there's a camera in my office that does opposite. The markets do opposite of what I talk about. Anyway, I was going to short there and I just missed it. So if this pops back up there, I'll take it. I'm not chasing this trade, considering I didn't even have the ISI zone there. If it pops up, I will take it. Let's see if I missed something else here. Probably. Yeah. I mean, I could have taken a pick as well. So this was a prior market profile composite. You can see that's right where that bounced. So I could have taken that pick as well. And you can see like when these areas are confluent with extreme standard deviation of VWAP, those are even better trades because you have the algos that love to snap so this is VWAP. Here's one standard deviation, also known as daily value area, 1.5 standard deviation, 2 standard deviation. So these algos so often will, especially when nothing's going on, the big money's not in here, they snap it back, as a mean reversion type. I don't trade off of those. We do have a trade for that, but I don't just trade off of that. But when it's confluent with other things, you saw that in the ISI zone, you just have that wind at your back when you put those trades on. So if this comes back up here, I'll put on a pick too. I just missed these trades because I was looking at crude there. 250 is the entry. All right, if that comes back, I'm in. If not, then I am not going to trade off of that event. This is the prior event. I just want to see what we got going on here. Algo guys. So this is a exponential moving average. I use this as my filter for different strategies. Bark and Lick. That's these guys here. So Bark is just a blind ATR retest confirm of any event, right? So we talk about these are the specific areas I look for events. Well, I already know that there's an edge inherent in the SI events, right? So I actually have a trade for where I just put these on no matter where these events fire off, right? Based on the criteria ATR retest confirm, as long as algo guys in that direction. So if this were to pop back up here, by the way, I just missed that fill again. It just won't fill me. If this were to do this, then I could put on Barks and Lick short as well. So we'll see what happens here. If that comes back and fills me for the aggressive. So I have two different entries, right? So I have an aggressive entry. So like the pick trades, the Izzy trades, I don't usually wait for retests of the zone because they're such powerful areas. First move out, I jump in. So again, I missed that entry, and of course it came up there and didn't fill me. Barks and Licks, I wait for that. So it's probably still going to happen. Again, this happens probably, from my watching these for 7+ years, probably 80% of the time, it'll come back to these zones, and we have a trade for that. It's called a reversion trade, right? So you can see these dotted lines on here. That's the 1 ATR. This is the 2 ATR, the 3 ATR. So many times it'll hit the 1. I'll show you multiple of those today. Come back to the zone, or the 2, or the 3. It could go 4, 5, 6. The point is it'll come back to the zone. The most common are the 1s, 2, and 3. That's why I have a trade for that. But people are always like, which one do I take? Do I take the 1, the 2, or the 3? I don't know. Some days the 1s work non-stop. Some days the 1s get blown out. The 2 work. Some days the 1s and the 2 get blown out, and the 3 work. So the point is, if you're going to take this trade, and I actually have this trade working at a trading firm right now that's doing it automated because it's a very labor-intensive trade where you got to be all over it. I forgot what I was saying, but anyway, I'll take that trade when I can. We have A+ entries, but the point is, I don't know how many ATRs, but it most likely will come back to the zone, or there'll be a new event. So we'll watch for that, and then there's other trades I can put on there. I was long ES here on, you guessed it, ATR retest confirm. I put on a Bark trade. It's a blind. Well, I just showed you that trade. So here, this is a perfect example. Hit the ATR, which is the blue line on this zone drawing tool. Here's your retest of the zone. Exactly. The 1 ATR worked for the reversion trade, but then for the Lick trade, I got long here, and I got out of half up here, right into the number. I held this trade through 2 numbers, and that's not usually a very smart thing to do. Yesterday, I held a trade into the number in ES, and I got swiped out of it. So, a smart thing to do is just to get out before the numbers, but no one ever said I was smart. Anyway, I got out of half here. These are the important areas that I will piece out of my trades. So I got long that Bark. There was no liquidity up there. I usually put on a Lick 2, but it was ATR retest confirm. It ran into this market profile composite. I got out of half my trade. So and you can see that is confluent with extreme standard deviation. So you get those algos snapping it back. I got out of half there. I still have half on. So I am long ES, and I will go short and Q. Those trading strategies I just said, if this pops back up there. And then I am still short crude. I had gold trades on earlier. It's been all over the place. It's actually in a very important area, though, depending on what happens here. All right, more CL sell stops, so I can possibly trail my shorts to that. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, so I think I missed a trade here too. So we had this is a Dumb and Dumber. So I have 6 distinct setups based on these SI events, right? A Dumb and Dumber is usually the retail trader puke. That's usually a fade, right? Because it's not initiative selling by big money most of the time. It's just a retail trader puke, and if it's not initiative, it turns around and rips the other way. So I guarantee you I missed a trade here. I just filled on those NASDAQ shorts too. Yeah, so this was an Izzy trade that I missed, right? Market came down here. It was up here, bounced off this Izzy zone. I did take that short at the time. And then right into here, here's your Dumb and Dumber. Take that trade aggressively. So I missed that trade because it's a instant winner. I don't like putting on the instant winners. I like to be tortured for 4 hours when I put on, especially my gold trade. So that's why I didn't put that on. Just kidding. Anyway, this was the entry here. Let's see if there's anything else here that came back. And so gold is in a very important area. It looks like it's going to literally rip off the page. Moves a little higher here. There's nothing for the market profile composite. There was a, you see it did stall here earlier. This gets out of this thing, watch out. And then you also have bigger picture thesis, just a guess, right? We just talked about this. I come up with my guesses, and then if they're in the direction of my SI events, I trade bigger. This, oops, it's balance. So everything's fractal when you come to balance areas, right? This is one bigger balance area as well. Damn it. So I missed an awesome trade there in gold. But what I'm going to do now, it's happening right now off of this new event. You have a couple different things here. I tried these earlier and they didn't work, but into the number I got stepped out. Anyway, you have, this is called a FBB, fail balance breakout, or breakdown in this case. It tried to break down, didn't. It's trying to move through this high volume. No, very important area right here. You can see how it's still stuttering here. If this gets above here, this market is going to rip off the page, or should. So I am going to trade double size longs off of this event that just fired off. The other trade I can put on here is a breaking bad, we call it. I'll show you these in the excuse me, in the trading strategies document. Current balance breakout through the high volume, not a prior balance. So I've got two different trading strategies in that respect. And again, I missed the other two. That's these guys here. Fail balance breakdown, FBB, breaking bad. So I will put both of these on off of this event if this event proves bullish, right? I don't know what this event is yet. The way I determine that from watching so many of these over the last 7 years, we're probably about 4 million of them. I don't know what I'm doing with this event until it can push an ATR, that's the blue line, out of here. So if it turns into a bullish event, I'm taking FBB and the breaking bad longs. If this turns out to be a bearish event, I can turn around and take trades to the short side. This is the Izzy zone, I believe. No, it's not quite there yet, so no Izzy there. And no pick here either, up a little higher. I can put those on. So if this breaks out, I'm going to go long, and I'm going to take double size because of my thesis, right? So if this breaks out of here, I'm going long, and this is the yellow line. I'm going to put this in here in a second so you guys can see the zone drawer access. 2554.4, I could put on 6 micros, so this is based off of my risk. I have these Apex accounts that I trade that are all tied to these strategies. Each one is designated a number to keep track of the stats and everything else. So you have all these Apex accounts attached to, we'll go over Apex, attached to these trading strategies. So the great thing about the zone drawing tool and the spreadsheet, so the zone drawing tool, all the stuff you see on this chart is basically just my spreadsheet, my trading spreadsheet put on the chart. We had my developer, my room, he's a trader, my trade room design that. So we're basically just taking these values here and putting them, they're in the zone drawing tool. If you don't have the zone drawing tool, you can get this spreadsheet either in my room or on my website. I'll put that here in a second, but you can do this manually. You don't need the zone drawing tool. The zone drawing tool just makes your life a lot easier. All right, so as long as this doesn't confirm as a short, aka get an ATR out of here, I'm going to put on these longs, 2554.6 now. So this is dynamic where it's changing with your ATR, right? The average true range, 5-minute Wilder's average true range. All right, hold on, by the way. So I'm long ES, but now I'm short NQ. I put those in, and I don't know if I've mentioned this routine here, this pattern. Hey, what do you know? Well, I can't believe that came right back to the zone. What did I say, 80%? Probably more than that. Anyway, that looks like the 1 and the 2 both work there. Here's your 1 entry for the reversion trade. Your stop out was here. I don't think you got stopped out. And your 2 entry was right here. So anyone in my room that took the 1 to the 2, winner, winner, chicken is for dinner. So anyway, this is what I was saying was probably going to happen because it happens 80% of the time or more in my estimations. So anyway, if this comes back now, I got short those aggressive ones that I missed, right? So I'm short there. My stop's way up here at this yellow line. That's what the yellow line is on this zone drawing tool. So I'll put those here in a second. If this comes back now, I could put on barks and licks as long as, well, it's not bearish now. So those are off the table, right? This just cross back bullish. I can't put on barks and licks off of this particular event. So all I have on right now are the pick and the Izzy trade. And I got to put my stops in so I don't get pummeled on this without forgetting to put my stops in. 19, 170, 50. So you can see, like, the risk here is substantial. First of all, this is all adjusted. My position is adjusted by, you can see the ATR is extremely high right now. It's 44, right? Everything is adjusted here where, you know, I've learned the hard way to trade these, to wait for the ATR plus to get out, to get in, and force the market to get an ATR plus to get out, because I don't want to get algoed. You see the algos in here, right? So it doesn't mean I'm not going to get stopped out. It just means I'm not going to, I don't just put on a trade, which, you know, so many traders do, these static risk levels. When I trade the NQ, I like to risk 10 points to win or to make 20. It's like, that has nothing to do with what the market's doing. It has nothing to do with the current volatility, right? If you do that, you're not going to make it overall. I will bet my life on it, right? So if you at least adjust to the ATR, you got a fighting chance. So anyway, this is adjusting to the ATR. And we knew I have a new event here too, by the way. So let me put my stop in, and then I potentially go short off of this too if this fails. So stop goes in at this prior stop area. So the stop is long aggressive. If I were to get long aggressive, same thing. All right, this is not, these shorts on here aren't looking good, but I am long ES. So I have the dueling trades on, which are not very fun. What did I say? 75. Damn it! Hold on, guys. 70, 50. The other one. Busy. All right, so those stops are working. If this were to fail, I could potentially put this, I could add to these trades. So we'll look at that here in a second. I want to see what Euro's doing. I want to see where my ES is. I still don't know what this is. I don't even think I put these trades in. The Breaking Bad and the. I'll wait a second, because if this, you know, if this validates as a short, then I don't have to put the longs on. So I'll try to keep an eye on that. I just want to see where ES is, because I am currently still long that. So I got out of some of that market profile composite low that I showed you. Another area that I will watch is this spot gamma level, this vol trigger, very important. We'll look at spot gamma here too in a second. We'll read his notes, the vol trigger. So very close, and you can see this liquidity up here. So if this starts to fail, I don't get out of this kind of liquidity. Longer term I will. That's one of my areas. So you can see here, I'm very consistent where I get out of my trades as the market makes money available to me, straight out of trading in the zone. As far as that quote, I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. So these are my areas that I will piece out. So earlier I got out at a market composite low, right? I got out at half. Talked about that. That was this. See, they're just buying these Mag 7 stocks. I got out the first time. It did bounce off of there. Now it's getting inside here, right? So another area is the spot gamma level. Uh-oh, seal is not. Oh yeah, I'm all right with seal. Where it's spot gamma levels, right? So if that gets up there and it fails, I'm going to get out of a little more. I still have 4 on. I put on 8. I got out of 4. I'll get out a couple more, and this is real close, right? Net gas numbers coming out, by the way. And, well, look at that. Somebody's coming in with a lucky guess 3 minutes before the number. I wonder if they know what the number is going to be. Oh, look at that. Look at that sell ice coming in. I don't trade off of these. You could. I mean, you're rolling the dice because, you know, the number, but just kind of weird how someone got really, really aggressive right before the number. I wonder why. So keep an eye on that. I haven't been. We had an awesome trade in there yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? Whopper, like huge trade. So I'll keep an eye on that today. So this didn't quite get up here yet, so I'm not going to get on any more of those. And then we have this NASDAQ. So I have to make a decision here. I already kind of skirted the rules on the Izzy short, right? Because I actually deleted that zone, and then I said, well, I'll take it, right? But this is actually breaking out of this balance now. So this is looking short-term bullish, right? So the point is, now we got a stop run right here. So I have a trade for this activity. We call it breaking away. To break a current balance, right? I don't just put those on though. I need to see at least 200% relative volume coming in so I don't get juked. Because so many times when these obvious breakouts are happening, these algos will snap this puppy back, right? So it's so obvious. Anything that's obvious usually is a fade, right? So many times it does that. If I see the big money coming in with a breakout of there, and how I judge that is obviously the SI events, but the relative volume. If I were to see heavy relative volume coming in here, 200% or more, then I would jump on that breaking away trade. But that is not happening, so I will not take that trade, but that is this trade here. Excuse me, I told you I'm a little under the weather, so you're going to be listening to a lot of coughing today. 200% is needed, one of the ingredients for that trade. Variables, so I'm not taking that. But off of this event, so I'm still short, didn't get stopped out. I'm not going to add to these, the Izzy or the pick here. I'll just take my medicine if I lose here. All right, nat gas number came out. But if this turns into a bullish event, as long as it doesn't tag the ATR below, I can put on Barks and Licks long because Algo Guy is bullish now. So we'll keep an eye on this. I'm already short. Short NASDAQ, long ES. The fun dual trade. So whoever thought they knew the number, well, they're still coming in here, but more sell ice into the number. It's not working out for them right now. So this is why I don't trade. Like, obviously someone thought they knew something here, and they're still coming in. Now this is actually huge. Holy camoli, as I used to say to my daughter. This is probably the biggest sell ice I've ever seen in this market in my life. 1,800 sell ice into the number, like right through the number. And then you get some, wow. So, the number obviously, it clears out the liquidity, so you get these bigger zones. I would probably just, I've never seen this much in my life. So you do have a double whammy here too. It's kind of a backward double whammy. The double whammy is one of my 6 setups. Buy stops into the big money sell ice, right? This is unbelievable. I have never ever seen this much. I don't think, like, look how small this looks. This was a threshold event. That's this zone here, and then this was the lucky guess guys. I'm just gonna trade off of that because it's 1,800. So I'll make this double whammy one zone, and then I'll trade off of that. Let's see what we got here. Again, I don't usually trade nat gas on these webinars, especially because the number comes out. This is unbelievable. So I have to participate, guys. All that's happening here is it's with this size, it's just loaded up traders. So somebody's going to be real right, somebody's going to be real wrong. More sell ice here. Craziness. All right, let's see where we're at. I have to try to take advantage of this, right? I don't usually trade nat gas on these Bookmap webinars. Here we are. This is the trade we took yesterday that worked beautifully. Here's your Izzy zone. Same thing yesterday. We got sell ice here. Took that trade. I think it was an iLug-U as well. Whopper. I mean, this was a huge trade. We'll look at it. It went from lug to lug. Ludwig level to Ludwig level. Here we are again. I will take that trade once again if this fails. Now you've got most sell ice I've ever seen. I don't know if I mentioned that. So here's the issue. Do you want to enter? You have to make a decision. So most of the stuff we do is very black and white as far as the entry, so on and so forth. But this entry is smack dab in the middle of that sell ice. So I have to make a decision. Do I want to move it out 20 plus ticks? Or do I just want to bite the bullet and enter right in the middle of that zone? Well, considering what's going on here, it's somebody's obviously trying to hold this thing down. I'll get short at the normal price here. I could put on 1.4 normal contracts. I'm going to round up to 2. I'm rounding up to 2 just because I'm not bearish this market per se. I'm just gonna make this one zone. I'm just rounding up. So this is, paper is right more often than wrong. But when I got a question from a member, and I didn't get a chance to respond to his email the other day asking about the icebergs. Paper's not always right? But it behooves you to, they're right more often than they're wrong, and it's just because of common sense, right? They just, trust me, if someone keeps putting thousands and thousands and thousands of sell ice here, the market is finally going to relent. But we have a setup for when they're wrong. The point is, it doesn't matter what they're trying to do. If they're getting out of longs, if they're hedging options, I don't care. I care about the volume event and the concentrated area of traders. Somebody's buying this like crazy and running into whopper sell ice. Whatever way this breaks, you're very, very, very likely going to get a huge move. So we have rules based on which way it breaks. So I don't know if this is a Titanic setup. And what I'm talking about here are these setups. Where's that? Excuse me. Lots of cough in this webinar. I already told you guys that, so bear with me. So this is my indicator, SI indicator course. Actually, let me push this in the room because I forgot. This is this. So here's the zoning trying tool you can get on the Bookmap Marketplace. This is the course. So the course goes over all of everything we're doing in here and the setups, so on and so forth. You can, if you come on my trade room or on the Bookmap webinars, you can learn real time, but it is real time. I'm trading real time. I know I talk fast. I know I go over stuff quickly. It's because I'm trading real time. I don't have to, I don't have time to go over basics. All right, that should be in there. So anyway, right now, this is potentially a Titanic setup. It's very technical terms too. Like a Titanic, like running into an iceberg. Well, here's the market running into an iceberg. So if this holds, then I'm going to go short. Madam Shizzle says we're at the red lug too, so I'll look at that. This is exactly what happened yesterday too when I shorted this. Like I said, if this fails, AK can push an ATR out of here, then this is a whopper broken ice setup, right? All right, see all sweeping back in my face here. But did I trail my stop here? Hold on, I need to trail my stop to this stuff. Actually, I should have already been out of this trade. That's not cool. Hold on here. I'm gonna get out right here. I just messed that up. Hold on here. Not cool. I had a bunch of different positions on. All right, so what I should have done there, remember we were short, I was short off of this event. We got the new event. I trailed my stop to that, and then something else came in. I should have trailed my stop, so I just cost myself 30 plus ticks. I should have been out right here. And I potentially could have gone long off of this event. I just missed all of this, right? So crude looks like it's holding for now, right? And it looks like it's going to try to break out of this guy. So this zone held for now, right? Right, so you got this, here we are. There wasn't really anything to go long off there unless there was a market profile. But anyway, watch this, because if this breaks out, it's probably going to retest this stuff up here, right, in this balance area. But it looked over the abyss and it held for now. So again, I had a thesis if that broke. Right now, I wouldn't trade double-sized longs, but this obviously looks pretty bullish. They did something in OPEC came out as well. I don't trade fundamentally, meaning if it sounds bullish, just jump in and trade. The market's going to tell you whether it's bullish or bearish, with especially with the events. All right, nat gas is this is about to be a bullish event. So you had more stuff. I'll come here, guys. This is why I don't like trading it right after the number, because it's just there's event. All right, let me take a breath here. You got questions? Throw them in the YouTube, please, because I don't see the Discord questions. All right, so I should have popped. No, it didn't get up here. So again, I'm long ES, it's half a position, and I'm short NQ, and it's really doing nothing right now. Let's take a look at Hero. Lose the zero, get with the hero. This is spot gamma. This is options, real-time options activity here. And I'll show you something else that's coming out. Let me see here. So I'm not used to these colors. guys, I would trade that short. I'm not, that gas rips off the page here. Fine. I'm not gonna. There's event after event after event. I would pay attention to it. That's the most sell ice I've ever seen, and it's not working out real well for them right now. Anyway, this is the traditional hero. This is showing me real time options flow. You can see this turned around almost a billion right now, and that's notional, a lot for him. You can see today, because there's not a lot of heavy relative volume coming in, this is basically following the hero, right? So all this is showing you options dealers activity. Options dealers get loaded up. They have to turn around and hedge in the futures, right? So it's not a guess. They have to do it. They don't take positions per se, directional positions. So when this thing starts getting crushed, and like I said, he says a billion or more, that these options dealers get loaded up. They're long. They got to turn around and hedge with the futures. So they are a big player in here. They're not the only player. Some days they are the only game in town. Whatever this thing does, this ES does. There are other days that this thing could be getting killed and the ES just kind of spins. Well, that just tells you that there's big money in here absorbing the orders, so on and so forth. So very important, but they're not the only player. But they are a big player. It's behoove you to watch this and keep an eye on it. Here is the new thing they have here. I thought I opened it up in another page. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so this is what, again guys, I can't even explain this to you. I went over it with him. I had a webinar with them yesterday, or a call with them yesterday. They briefly went over it. This is a way to show you the even more granular level of these options activities, where the blue and the red. The blue is like where it's going to be support. If it stays in here, right? I'm not even going to attempt to explain this right now, because I don't even really know what I'm looking at. All I know, it's really, really cool. They were going over it yesterday. He's going to get on a Bookmap webinar with me on the 19th. So join that. But you can see all these different options here, as far as what you want to look at. So this looks like, obviously, it's a big resistance area, right? Delta pressure. Again, I'm not going to even attempt to explain this because I don't know it. But very, very cool. Right now, I'm just going to keep an eye on the hero until I understand what the hell I'm looking at. I'm not even going to waste your guys' time trying to explain it. But they explained it a little bit yesterday, and it looks incredible. Just on top of everything that I'm already doing, that you already get with the Bookmap, with the SI events. Now you add in that real-time options where you know that it's going to run into resistance. I mean, we have the levels here, his condensed levels, or concentrated levels of options activity, right? But then you have that, and then you add in this, and then the SI. It's talk about being transparent of seeing everything that's going on in the market. And very excited. So he'll be on this on the 19th. So put that on your calendar. It should be a good webinar. Go to his YouTube channel. I'm sure he's going to be explaining it every day going forward, but we're going to get on one-on-one too. All right, so this continues to fail. There hasn't been a new event in ES. Continues to fail at this market profile composite. That's kind of telling you something, right? So if this gets back in here, you expect the other side. So this is thesis-wise, this is telling you, is this market that strong? No, it can't get in here. I'm not saying if it does, then what do you expect? The other side. But if this comes down in here, then you expect the other side of that one. And I would trade double side shorts. I took a shot yesterday, fired, I had to leave, and I kind of skirted the rules a little bit. I said if it broke this zone, and it didn't quite break the zone, and I traded a double size, and I got smoked on it. It was into the close, but there was events down here, tons and tons. This whole balance area has been ton of activity. So whatever way this guy breaks, you're going to see a big move, like we were talking about natural gas, right? I'm still leaning down, but I don't really have that much of an opinion right here. If this breaks this balance area, aka this zone, then watch out. There's not a lot of structure here. We talked about this last week, and I said if the area broke, and that it did break, and I think that ES sold off like 70 points or something, if I remember correctly. Cool, but we'll watch the YouTube webinar, and we talked all about this. Anyway, keep an eye on this balance. Whatever way this breaks, especially the stuff that's been going on in the last couple of days, there's been huge sell ice, buy ice, sell ice, sell stops, buy ice, buy stops. This area is going to elicit a big move. What'll probably happen, because it happens almost every single time, it'll do the bungee jump into this guy. But if it doesn't, watch out. I have no idea what's going to happen. Nobody does. That's why we use the real-time volume events and trade accordingly. My thesis, if it breaks out, I would probably trade double-size longs. If this breaks down, I'd probably trade triple-size shorts. I'm still leaning for a short. And it's kind of telling you because I can't get in this guy. So we'll see. No idea. Speaking of shorts, I'm still short NASDAQ. Has not come close to stopping me out. And this is why I put my stops at these ATR, outside of an ATR, so I don't get algoed out of the trade. There's nothing going on, whipsaw. You see this algo right here, this flashing size, that's just showing you the order book. This algo is just messing with the market right now. So if you want to play with that, have fun. It's not fun, so that's why I forced the thing to get an ATR out of it. So. There we got some more crude stuff here. Let's see where we're at. So you can see on that, on the relative volume stuff. Did I forget to get out? Hold on a second. I think I forgot to get out of I didn't put a stop in on my gold long. What am I doing here? Yep, this is my usual here. Forgot to put stops in on the longs I took earlier, and now of course the market is ripping against me. That's not cool. I don't even remember what I was long off of here, so that sucks. All I know is I had longs on and it was against me. All right, so what I was showing you here is this relative volume. Nothing like throwing away profit. All right, nat gas is still going crazy. Anyway, this was into that. Well, first of all, you can see here. So you can see the relative volume coming in here. That's part of those icebergs, obviously. But this was the OPEC, whatever that news was. This spiked at over four times normal volume for this time period. Very important. So this very likely this is the same things that we're looking at with the SI events in just a different way, right? So somebody came in here and bought a ton. Somebody sold a ton too. So this is a line in the sand. This breaks out of here. It's probably gonna rip off the page. If it holds, then why? It's just because it's common sense. There are traders that are loaded up here. It's the same thing we're looking at with these SI events, right? Just in a different way. All right, NASDAQ is holding nicely. And like I said, I have half position on an ES long. I'm perfectly fine with getting stopped out of this one because I want these markets to get killed because I really, 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 really want to short them, like always. So I'm short NASDAQ, still long ES. My stops here for the ES trade. I already got out half of that. We talked about that. All right, what is going on in here? Lots of buy ice as the market moves higher. That's telling you something is all right in its own right. I'm going to make this one zone, right? You can see here, buy ice, buy ice, buy ice. Very likely one house. This is actually a delayed step rows. So step rows is one of my. Here, I'll show you that here in a second. I don't want to miss this trade in case it's something here. Let's just make this one. Hold on, CL. I told you there was a camera in my office. The minute I start talking about markets, then they just rip off the page. Come on. So the zone drawer, you can adjust this stuff. So, in my course, I talk about how to draw these zones manually because that's what I had to do for 7 years. You don't need to with the zone drawer, but there are times you have to know how to, how to draw them so you can adjust these zones, so on and so forth. So I'm going to make this one big zone here. All right, so let's see what we're going to do. So from 70.66 to 70.51, this was part of it too, but that looks like it was right in the middle of it. So pretty important area. We got some YM stuff now too. Maybe we'll go over there. YM's been very kind to most of the people in the room. So as far as it's more of a cleaner trade for some reason. I don't know why. It's pretty thin. All right, more ES stuff too. All right, so this is about to break out of this, so I can take a breaking away trade, especially with this, if the relative volume is spiking here off of this buy ice. So I'll take that. If this fails, this is back in the Izzy zone. I can take a short too. It's probably not going to fail. If this breaks out, let's just make sure the relative volume is adequate for that trade strategy. It's close. Let's see here. No, it's not. I mean, you had a little bit here. You had 200% over here, but I want to see 200% in the breakout. So no breaking away trade for me there. as of right now. Market is obviously bullish. Algo guy is bullish. So I can take barks and licks off of that. I would take double size longs. If that happens, we'll keep an eye on it. I don't know what I'm doing. If this fails, I will take Izzy shorts. And my short here is 70.22. I'll keep an eye on that. I'm not going to spend the time putting it in right now, especially because it looks like it's going to rip off the page. All right, so ES buy ice here. Same area as the sell ice earlier. We're talking almost 1,000 there. Hold on, I want to see if there's some areas for me to get out of one of these NASDAQ shorts here before it bungee jumps back in my face. So we have spot gamma levels. Those are still about 60 points away, so nothing there. So these are my areas that I consistently get out of my trades, right? Let's see where we're at here. New lugs, Ludwig levels, and crude. That's bullish in its own right, or it should be. So we come up with a thesis with market profile composite, with the structure, with the bar charts, and with the lugs. When it builds new lugs, if it's truly bullish, it should hold the current directional yellow and prior red, and then you expect the new red. If this were to fail, then that's telling you just a thesis with these, expect the other way. You get the best trades when you get the thesis with the lug, with the market profile composites, and the structure stuff all in the same direction. Then you can trade bigger. That's what I do. Excuse me. All right, let's see where we're at here in NASDAQ. Get out of some of these. Yeah, I mean, this is an area I can get out of one of these shorts. It's been a decent trade so far. It's almost 70 points. You got VWAP, and you got the top of this prior market profile composite. I don't get out, or usually get out at VWAP by itself, but if it's confluent with something, I will get out. It's not quite there, so I'm going to give this a second. And how I try to judge this is I use the tick strike. So this is all in that document I put in. Been using this thing for like 15 years. It's very annoying when you get to hear your positions go against you and watch them. But you can see they're hammering this, so I don't potentially need to get out. So that's one of the ways I judge. And we have a new event here too. So first and foremost, what I can do. So remember my stop. Remember how I didn't stop out on randomness. Remember how I put my stop way up here where everyone was laughing at me? Oh my God, you're risking 180 points on that? Yeah, because the ATR is 40. My stop was way up here. And this is why I put it way up here, so I don't get algoed out of the trade. So you use U2 Utes movie, my cousin Vinny, use that got short and say, I'd like to risk 20 points. I'm going to get short with you, Scott, but I'm only risking 20. Well, you're stopped out, and I'm still in the trade, right? So that's why I do that. When you watch 4.2 million of these, you'll probably do the same thing. All right, we have more buy ice here. So you got buy ice coming in ES and NQ. First and foremost, I'm going to trail my stop. I'm going to make this one zone, first of all, kind of like we just did with crude. Because you can see this keeps coming in. It's very likely one house, and even if it wasn't, they were back to back. I'm going to make this one zone. Let's make this a zone here. What's that, 93? There you go. And then the top is, and you can see the ATR line's moving, or where I'm going to get out of this if it snaps back. So now my stop's here. So if it comes back, I'm going to make like 15 points on the trade, right? Or 11 point, whatever it is. But so I'm not trailing my stop to break even because I don't want to lose money now. I'm trailing my stop based on something that happened in the market. If this holds, I'm going to get out of my shorts, and I'm probably going to flip long on certain strategies. We'll see. 19.06650 is the stop out for those shorts. Put that in. So I had pick and Izzy shorts on. So get out of those. Got some stuff in the grains. 66.50. All right, those are my stops are working. Now let's see if this does turn into a bullish event. If I can turn around and go long. Let's see where we're at. So this is very interesting what's going on here. Remember I said I'm still bearish. I mean, thesis-wise. I was changing my tune if this broke out. Well, what did it do? It tried to break out, didn't work so much, and now it's putting in a selling tail. This is such important information as far as coming up with a thesis. Like you see yesterday, and I talked about this in my AM webinar, or my PM webinar yesterday. See these tails, right? You see it held the tail today and tried to rip. Now it's putting in a selling tail. Very important. So if this, we got a couple things going on here. This could be a failed balance breakout, right? If this gets through, it's just an area. It's not an exact price, but I would actually say the top of this zone. If it breaks that, and I say I start getting events, I could take the failed balance breakout, not right here. It's still up in here. It still hasn't violated this high volume node. High volume node is just basically a middle of a balance area where most of the trade occurs, right? Right here I wouldn't do it, but this gets below, I'd say, 18,900. Any events I'm getting there, I would take the failed balance breakout, and I'm taking that double size. And then this market is in huge trouble if that happens. So keep an eye on that. It's probably going to bounce around here for a while. In the meantime, there's nothing for me to really go long here off of this. A little lower, I could potentially take an Izzy if it held. That's not there yet, so no Izzy. Let's check our market profile stuff. These are just different areas I look for. All right, I wanted to get out of one of these there. Hold on, I'm going to get out of one right here. Of these shorts. All right, so I got out of one. This is the area that I said, these are in that document. I'm very consistent. I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. I don't sit there and say, I demand 4R in my trade, so I'm just going to sit here until I get 4R. That makes no sense to me. I understand R's and understanding you want multiples on your risk, right? I understand all that, and that's great. But I don't say, okay, my 4R, I'm going to hold this to the lug, or it's either 4R or I stop out. You could do that. Over the long run, it's probably going to work out for you. I'm a day trader. If I have a nice trade on and I hit important areas that I know the market usually will respond to, I'm getting out of some of my trades. So I just got out of one there. VWAP, confluent with market profile composite high. I'm out of one. If this keeps rolling down, I still have one on, and I could potentially go short other strategies too. So that's the way I trade. I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. That's not my quote. It's Mark Douglas. Get Trading in the Zone. You can get it on an audiobook. I'm starting to read it again. It isn't. Actually, I'll read you one of the. Just quickly. I read this to my room the other day. Let's see if I can find it. This book is literally 30 years old that I'm looking at. Here we go. So listen to this carefully. This is in his preface, right? Those traders who have confidence in their own trades, who trust themselves to do what needs to be done without hesitation, are the ones who become successful. They no longer fear the erratic behavior of the market. They learn to focus on the information that helps them spot opportunities, kind of like what we're doing with the SI events, to make a profit, rather than focusing on the information that reinforces their fears, right? So that means instead of me I'm afraid of these movements, right? Kind of like when we put our stop way above the event, and I didn't panic out of it because of the algo whipsaw. So what he's saying there is, when you have an edge and you have rules around your edge, you concentrate on the edge. You don't concentrate on the stuff that makes you scared, the whipsaw, the algos. That's what they want you to do. This is a zero-sum game. These jackasses are trying to take your money. I don't concentrate on that. I concentrate on my edge and what works, right? So that's why I have my rules of where I put my stops. So the point is, once you can get to the point in your career that you just focus on your edge and you just accept what happens after you put the trade on, you're free, right? It's like I still bitch about the trades when I'm wrong, but I don't do anything stupid. I don't just randomly take, when I put the short on. Remember, I put this on right here. I said, okay, I missed it. If it comes back, first of all, I didn't chase it. I said, if it comes back to that entry, I'm in. And did you see me oh man, this feels, I'm out. No, wait, no, this is gonna be a loser. No, my stop was there. And then, well, what do you know, right? So that's the point, guys. If you focus on the nonsense, you're always going to be scared out of your trades. I know these. This is what I'm showing you on these webinars, right? If you want to go through 7 years of watching 4 million of these, be my guest. You don't even need to do that. You can use the replay option in Bookmap and play days in a fraction of the time and learn for yourself if you don't want to listen to me. Point is, I know this is the best edge I've ever seen in my life trading futures, 25 plus years. So I don't panic. I just put the trades on. Some of them win, some of them lose. The point is, you're trading in probabilities, right? You have to learn to think that way. That's all Trading in the Zone talks about, is trading in probabilities. Think like a casino. Here we go. Here comes the rants. Learning to trade an edge like a casino. Something that generally puts the odds in your favor, of success in your favor. You can think about trading in the appropriate manner. The 5 fundamental truths. Here's the 5 truths. Anything can happen. That's why you just put your trade on. Like if I'm short crude and the OPEC comes out like earlier, I get stopped out. On to the next trade. If you have an edge, you will make money over time, over a series of trades. This got all screwed up. What happened here? Yikes. Hold on here. It's hard for me to read these when they're all messed up. So this is supposed to say there is a random distribution between wins and losses for any given sets of variable defined an edge. An edge is nothing more than an indication of a higher probability. Probability, guys, it's not 100%. Nothing is 100%. Anyone tells you they're 100%, anyone tells you they're 80s, even 70%, usually are full of crap, right? Like, yeah, scalping short term, it's still not going to work out. Like most, if you're trading positions for bigger moves, if you're a 50% trader with an edge, you're going to be a multi-million-dollar trader, right? You can even be a 30% trader if your moves are bigger, so on and so forth. So that's a little bit of a rant. It's hard for me to rant when I'm sick, but I'm sure I'll find the energy. Anyway, new event here. Now I can move my stop even lower, right? I'm not going to combine these. You could. What was that? I just fell in there. I probably stopped out of my ES long. That's fine. I got out of half where I was supposed to, and I let it come back. What's going on here? All right, so this actually is a short setup now. It just tagged the ATR below, so we'll see what's going on here. Algo guy's pulling. Lovely. This could get really, really, really ugly in a hurry here. So first of all, Algo guy just pulled. There's no heavy relative volume, so we have a trade for that cross, right? No heavy relative volume as of right now, but trust me, it's coming here. If this starts to move lower, you're going to see heavy relative volume. All right, so all I have on right now is that NASDAQ one left and the NASDAQ short. You can see this thing's just getting pummeled. This is going to get really, really, really interesting. This is what I was waiting for yesterday. All right, let's see where we're at. This is do or die, Mr. ES. This is going to be beautiful. We're going to swipe down to 0 on the webinar. One fat finger swipe, literally right to 0. Just kidding. All right. See what we got here. Obviously, I can't take the breaking away because the relative volume, I really want to, but that's not part of my rule, right? I need to see relative volume spiking, but I'm sure there's other things. I can take barks and licks. I'm going to take triple size on all these. Sure. All right, more stuff in NQ. I can trail my stops and then potentially go short there. Let's just see where we're at here. So this is a potential pick. The problem here, it's not a problem. Ludwig level's right here, but we're breaking into this. So what did we talk about earlier? It failed to get in here, and I said that's giving you a heads up. Something's up. It can't get in here just like it couldn't hold in it yesterday. What do you know? Now it's trying to get in this guy. If it accepts in here, I expect the other side. That's normal movement. Doesn't happen. If it doesn't happen, it's telling you something, just like these, right? So anyway, here we are. Here's a bias event. Into this, I could take this aggressively. You could take picks one in two ways. You can jump in right when it moves out, aka aggressively, or wait for the ATR retest confirm. This is literally hanging on the abyss of death, ES death. So I probably am going to take this aggressively. If you want to wait, is this area. I took this same trade yesterday and got crushed. It held, right? And I took a double size. This one, if this moves out of here, I'm shorting this aggressively. I'm literally taking triple size. Pick. 55.08, 75. I could put on 4 normally based on my risk parameters, risking $500. I'm going to put on 12. And then I'm going to watch ES swipe to 0. It's going to be glorious. Nothing better than being short these market and watching all these jackass longs get their asses handed to them. Sorry if you're a jackass long, but I really enjoy it. All right, I actually, so I could have taken the pick off of this too. Let's see where that was. I should already be in this trade actually. Let's see. That I wouldn't take triple size off of this one because it's still in that balance area. Let's see what that was. So the top of this market profile composite was around 2075. I mean, that was real close. So I that's fine. If this comes, you could put this on right now if you want. Actually, what I'll do here, I'll put on a pick off of this guy because what could I do now, right? This is where I should have put on that pick. It's very close to the edge, right? But now I can trail my stop to that. So I'm willing to put on a pick right here. It's not going to be, I'll just put on normal size right here. So I should have put this on earlier. I'm just putting it on now, right? Put on 12. All right, so I just put on normal size, 4 micros, 0.4. That's how I'm based on this volatility. The ATR is almost 9. That is very, very volatile for ES. This all adjusts. I could put on 4, risking $500, right? So this is the trade that I should have put. I just missed it because we were looking at other stuff as usual, right? That was this guy. This is pretty aggressive though because it's not. This is right on the edge of that market profile composite, but I'm greedy, so I'm going to put that on, and I love being short. If this breaks, I'm still going to put on the triple size picks there, which is kind of stupid. I'll 4 times size on. That's all right. And if this confirms as a bolt, well, there's a couple things here you can do now too off of this event, right? So this is kind of a variation. I talk about this in the course too, right? I can still potentially take barks and licks off of that guy as long as the most recent event doesn't prove bullish. That's this line. So there's a way this retests this zone, and I could put on barks and licks off of that. If that doesn't happen, then I could put on potentially barks and licks off of that. I'm not going to put on double size off of this guy just because we're still in that. It hasn't broken down yet. Like I'm anticipating it, but I was anticipating it yesterday as well, and that didn't work out so well when I traded double size. So this is what I'm talking about. It's still inside this thing, right? It's looking over the abyss, but I'll put the shorts on it, but I'm not going to trade double or triple size is all I'm saying. Just as long as algo guy remains bearish. Let's see what we got here. And I got to trail my stop in NASDAQ. It's starting to rip back up. Where is algo guy? Why can't I find my algo guy? Here it is. Yeah. So you see this pulled, right? So bearish. It's exponential moving average. Ribbon. I use that as my bark and lick filter. So that's bearish. This retest that zone, and Bookmap Bob will let us know. That's another great thing about the zone drawer. It tells you when these confirm, when it retests, like that, right? Actually, I need to be out of this trade potentially, this short. All right, so remember I was trailing my stops down. So now I trailed it to that first one, and then I moved it to that one. Now here's this one. Here's the exit for this one. If this pops up here, where is it at? Is it still way up here? No, that can't be right. Is that right? Yeah, I mean, I guess the ATR is 46. No, I'm sorry, right here, right? So you see it now I can trail it. So no matter what happens here, I can, I'm going to have a nice winning trade. I got it at half, but I'm not stopping out in the middle of this activity. I'm willing to risk another 5 points and get out of there. I'm going to move it up to, I'll move it up to 90.15. So if that comes back, I already got out of one. I'll be out of the other one. It'll still be like a 70-point winning trade. Then we have a new event. Now we can trade certain strategies off this. Right? So let me put this stop in before I forget, like always. If you have questions, throw them in the YouTube, please. All right, that is trailed. 19.15. Now we go to the most recent event and see what we can do here. This does look like a red rum. So this is another trading strategy. right? So guys, when you come in my room or you're trying to learn these on these webinars, this does not mean, especially if you're new, you don't know what you're doing, you don't take every one of these strategies. I take every one of these strategies because they're my strategies. This is what I've been doing in my head for, if you watch my earlier book map, like from 5-6 years ago, I did all these, but I would just talk them out and then put on trades. They're all the same trades, right? I mean, you know, on one chart. I got gold. If gold was in front of me, I would punch it right in the face. Very annoying today. Anyway, this does not mean you take all of these strategies. Pick one or two of them. Get really good at one or two of them. The Izzy or the bark and the lick. If you were more you like active trades, the bark and the lick are the most active, right? They're the lower winning percentage because they're all over the place and it's not an important area. It's just the SI event, but they're still profitable, aka the probability, right, with the edge that we're using with the SI event. So anyway, my point is not to take all of these, right? Eventually, if you get really good and you have the bandwidth, yeah, take them all, take every one of these. But I'm going over each one of these because I take them all because they're my strategies. The point is, don't get lost in these. Like, oh my God, what is that breaking away? Is that FBB? What breaking bad? What the hell? So this is red rum, right? Red rums are great trades because I actually learned this ribbon, exponential moving average ribbon, from a guy I mentored about 6 years ago, right? So the way he would trade this, and this is, you know, he came to me, he wanted to make his strategy better. Any strategy you're using, any area that you're using, I'm okay with. If you think you have an edge, great. All I'm saying is whatever area you're using or whatever strategy you're using, make sure you get an SI event with the rules, and you just made that strategy 1,000 times better, right? Because you're using real-time information to confirm your areas. This is a move into the, this is a little different kind of red rum because it moved down into it. Actually, this one might be it. We could probably take a short into this guy, as long as this guy doesn't prove bullish. So what I'm going to do here, this is a variation. We just saw the red ribbon, right? Here's your stop run. If this does one of these, whoops, we don't want to see it touch the ATR, but if it touches this zone, and I could put on barks and licks off of this too. So I'll put on a red rum. This is a variation because it's already happened, but it's a move back to this. I'll put on red rum, bark, and lick shorts. I'm still short pick in Izzy, right? But these are different strategies. As long as this guy doesn't prove bullish, aka get an ATR out of here. Remember, I'm stopping out of my shorts here too if that happens, pretty much. So here's your retest of that prior event. I think Bookmap Bob just told us too. Let's see here. So if you hear stuff nonstop, especially I do because I'm watching 15, 20 markets, right? So I hear stuff, but I don't hear it. So then you can come up to this alert. So the way you do this is you just go to your main bookmap page. Hopefully NASDAQ will wait for me to show you all this. Hit File, Alerts, and you get these text alerts. So you can go back and say, okay, hey, did that retest? Hey, did it? Right there. NQ short retested 5 minutes ago. He's talking about, Mr. Bookmap Bob was talking about this guy here. So, like we always talk about, like I've said a million times, here's your ATR plus, right back to the zone. That was that test right there. This comes back, I can short this. Where's that price? Well, it was over here. It's cut off now, but you can just hover over it. So I should have been short red rum. Or, I mean, this is a variation, but if it comes back, I can short at 933.50. Bark, lick, red rum. That's straight in the middle of the zone. So I'm going to move it out of there. I'm willing to risk another 7 points to enter this trade. So I'm not entering in this buy ice area. So I'm going to go short bark, lick, red rum off of this guy, right? ATR, retest, confirm. I'm going to short it. We'll put it in 1975. I could still only put on 2 based on the volatility. And then, as long as this doesn't prove to be a bullish event, I can add to those barks and licks and potentially a red rum, depending on where the ribbon is, off of this guy. So let me put those in. As far as double size, I don't think we're out of that balance area yet, so I don't think I'm going to trade double size yet. The reckoning is coming, I believe. We'll see. Just a guess. I have no idea. Nobody knows. No, I'm not going to trade double size here. It's still just sitting in here. So if this buy ice turns bullish, I could take an Izzy long. If this breaks, then I'm going to be trading double size shorts, right? But right now I will not do that. I will trade normal size, longs or shorts. All right, so 1975, I'm going short bark lick red rum off of that guy. We put those in. You got Dow stuff fired off, Russell's stuff fired off. Never did see what happened to natural gas after that whopper ice. Over there, the can here in a second. Let me put this on. All right, 1975, and then red rum is number 143. I really want to trade double size, but it's not there yet. So just. What did I just? I just shorted those other strategies in the S, and I forgot what I was even working there. We'll go over there in a second. All right, those are working in NASDAQ. I'm still short picking Izzy too. What do we do here? Oh, this was the pick. Oh, I just put on, I got 4 times size on the pick. Hold on, I don't want to have that many on. Oh no, I didn't. I thought I had orders working here. Hold on. Sorry guys, this is, you know, I'm watching all these markets. Oh yeah, I did. I put it on the wrong account. Surprise, surprise. Hold on, get out of those. So that entry, remember, we're going to put on the pick. Of course, I got filled to the exact tick. That was over here when it was, that was a 9.5. We got bias now too. So I did not mean to put that trade on. Let me get out of that strategy. I put on a bark. All right, so now the pick comes back. I'm going to put on. I already was short the pick from this guy, remember? And then I was going to enter. I'm sorry, off of this guy, right? And then I had that one working. That price was at the time $8.75. So if that comes back to $8.75, I'll put on triple size there, or 2 times size because I already have 4 on. Hold on here. We already went over this trade. I just forgot what we were doing because I'm doing about 85 things. All right, so if that comes back, I'll fill. I already have 1 pick on off of that. Off of this, we were putting on the other one, right? Because this is firmly in that market profile composite, this guy. The issue here is I'm shorting right into this blue lug. I'm okay with it because it looks like it's going to blow right through it. It looks like, I have no idea. I mean, it's probably going to bounce, and we have bias. We actually have bias. It's not quite there yet. But the point is I'm putting these on. These picks because it's entering inside here. But this is going to be probably a problem. That's why we use them. They are incredible. They're the second strongest thing I've ever seen in trading Ludwig levels next to the SI events. So anyway, I didn't enter that. I got out. I put on the wrong account. If it comes back to 875, I will get it. Actually, I'm going to put it below this, just a smidge below it, 825. Then I will put on the pick, the second pick. In the meantime, right, that's working. I can trail my stop for the first pick to this new event. Right, we shorted that guy aggressively. Here's a new event. I can move my stop right there. 23.50. If this doesn't break, it just will not break it. I think it's going to. I don't know. But when it does, it's going to be glorious. It's just holding its head up high right now. We'll see. And someone keeps buying it. Someone was doing this yesterday too. It was buy ice, buy. This exact same thing happened yesterday. Somebody just keeps buying the bejesus out of this thing down here. Right? It's worked for them yesterday. It did rally into the close. Here they're trying to do it again. Are they going to be right? No idea. More likely right than wrong because they're the big money. But if this breaks, watch out. I keep saying that. So I trail my short to this. If this turns out to be bullish, then there's other strategies I could put on here. This is still an Izzy. I mean, it barely, but it is. So what I can do here, off this buy ice, these are areas, they're not exact prices, and this is from stuff that happened all over here, but it's still important, as you can see, and it held yesterday. If this holds again, I will stop out of my pick short, and I will go long Izzy, and I can potentially Now potentially I will. I can go long pick because it's going to be bouncing out of this thing. Kind of like it bounced out of this earlier. I couldn't hold in it. I will go long the pick trade off of this buy ice. It'll be moving back out of there. So I'm short pick now. The event, guys, this is the beauty of this stuff that we're looking at. It's real-time information, and I'm not sitting here like, oh my God, what should I do? Should I be short? Should I be long? I'm letting the real-time stuff and my rules around it tell me what to do. I'm short pick right now. If this turns into a bullish event, I'm going to flip out of my pick short, pick long, and Izzy long 23.50. I'm going to just trade normal size because I still think these markets are going to get killed. It's a guess. I don't know. If they start to, I will trade bigger short. All right, let me put this in. Flip out a pick. What's that price? 23.50. And I'll also put on an Ezzy long if that happens. If not, there's other things we can do off of this event. Sorry, I haven't got to your questions, guys, if you put them in there. Just give me a second here. I got a lot going on. And my head is pounding from my illness. All right. What else can we do here? Well, this guy, this prior event, this is a variation. I don't think I already talked about this, but anyway, that just hit that ATR. This is a bearish event. So if it goes ATR retest confirm, I can short barks and licks off of this as well as the pick I already have short on, and that guy I can actually put on both. I could have double sided. I'm gonna have like, it's gonna get interesting if this one breaks. So I'll have a lot of contracts on barks and licks off of either one of these. Right now I have pick on, and if this holds, then I'm gonna flip and go long. Certain strategies. Algo guys still bearish. See if you guys got questions. I gotta stop talking here for a second. And your egg, would nat gas be long if it touched the 1 tier long on the broken ice setup? Yes, that's how we judge. I never even saw what happened in here. I don't know why. This was such whopper ice. Like I said, most I've ever seen. And it's just, no, it's not working out real well for him. As this is what I'm talking about. Like, just because I see sell ice, I see 1,200 almost 2,000 sell ice. I don't just jump in a short, right? Yeah, it's telling you someone's selling it. It's not working out for him right now, right? We have a broken ice event for that. So I didn't do anything here, but yes, when you get an event, if it pushes out of the zone, an ATR, that's the blue line on the zone jar, or you can put it in the spreadsheet, then it tells you if it's bullish or bearish. So this was a bullish event, and now you got bias here. I can't go over that right now. My brain is already fried. We're just going to stick with the yes and NASDAQ for right now. Great YouTube video posted yesterday. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was the... So that was my life. So I do the same thing I'm doing here. I try to dumb it down. I don't want to use dumb, but I try to make it more basic for the Bookmap because there's newer traders in here. I do the same thing in the live trade room as far as these webinars, but they're a little more detailed because that's the trade room, and there's newer traders on here is what I'm saying. That's why it's a little more basic for what I'm talking about. But I do the same thing in my trade room. But go check out my Twitter page. This one was, we took so many trades, and this guy here. So I'll go to my YouTube page. That was this guy here. Thank you guys for liking it. So I try to put in a trade of the day. Every day, I don't get to it every day, but a lot of days. So this was, I put it up on YouTube. This is the full webinar, hour 33 minutes. But I put in where this stuff happened, like the crude shorts, gold long, bonds long. This was a huge trade. Yes, there was an A+ reversion. We talking about that today, not the E pluses, but we were talking about the reversion. And then the trade of the day was the failed balance breakout and the short and the yes. So go watch that. But I try to put one in every day. That was a bunch of them. So you can see multiple trades in multiple markets that day. All right, so now there's just a lot of breath holding here in equities before Armageddon happens. It's time to give it up, guys. Time to just give it up. Puke them all out. Go to zero. Hold on one second here.
CL short validated.
All right, CL is just all over the place.
Prior CL short validated.
What did I do? I didn't even have anything on here, do I? No. All right, let's see what we missed here at CL.
Hot sell CL.
Damn it.
189 contracts.
That's not cool. What happened here? All right, so this was a delayed double whammy. Well, no, this was yeah, it was kind of delayed. It's a broken double whammy. It's telling you something, first of all. So you had sell stops. That's usually retail trader puke that reverts, and then you had buy ice here too. So this, in itself is usually a bullish occurrence. If it breaks, it's telling you something, and that just broke. So let's see if I missed a trade here. I could potentially still put this on as long as this hangs out right here. So you're seeing here, this is, this can't get out of this ugly looking balance here. If this area breaks, this is going to get absolutely smoked too, or it should, right? We've already talked about this too today. All right. Bye-bye, equities. All right, what? Guys, I'm not kidding. I'm sick. Like, I can't even remember what we had. Oh, we had the bark and lick here, right? Hold on, I just gotta look at my positions. So I just put on bark, lick, and red rum. Now it's all coming back to me. Off of this event, remember, the stop run up here. ATR retest. I don't know if you guys have seen this routine, by the way, where it goes in ATR and comes back to the zone. To the tick, by the way. I put on bark, lick, red rum. We already went over this trade. I just filled on that. Remember, I put it just below this zone. So now my stop for those goes the same. I'm short. Now I'm short pick and Izzy from way up there. Trail my stop to that. And now I'm short barks and licks off that guy. Stop goes in the same spot. I would actually, I'm moving it up here, moving it to 15. Remember, because I don't want to stop out in this prior event. Then what I can do is add to barks and licks off of this guy if that happens. So let's enjoy. We got about 4 or 5 minutes left. Let's enjoy the move to zero in the next 5 minutes. All right, stop goes for all of these 19, 15. That's where I had to stop working for the pick and Izzy too. 19, 15. Bye-bye. Adios. One fat finger swipe to zero. Let's go. Do it. All right, let's see us here. I added the pick trade. Crush it. Literally just crush it. I just want to see this thing go to zero. For real. Sorry all you funds out there that has everybody's retirement money in it. It'll bounce back. We just see a zero move today. It'll bounce back for you guys. Anyway, so I took these trades in the lug, and this is why, just because of that. Now this market is in some serious doo-doo, right? Or should be. If it doesn't, then it's telling you something too. But it's probabilities. I'm firing on any shorts now. This is what I was trying to catch yesterday, and now it's happening, right? First of all, that was telling you something. That selling tail. Guys, there's nothing here. Like, this is little stuff. Like, this literally may come down here today. Especially if you start to see the relative volume pick up. I mean, it's not bad, but you start seeing this thing hit 200, it's going to get really, really, really ugly. All right, so I'm short. What do I got on NES? I got bark. I don't know. All I have is that pick trade on, but I have a 3x size. Yeah, I never did anything more with that. I thought I was doing barks and licks. Oh, you know why? Because this never retested. All right, so I'm short pick 3 times on the break into that market profile composite, right? I've got 4 strategies on short in NQ, and I've got this pick on when it broke into this guy, and then I added. We already went over all this, right? So what should happen? This should go to the other side. If it doesn't, and it saves, the day is saved as usual. I'm surprised there hasn't been a surprise Fed talker right now to save the market as usual. if it gets out of here, that's telling you that's going to happen. And then you want to watch for failed balance breakdowns. But as of right now, you know, as long as Mr. Fed clowns don't come out and save this market, it looks like it's going to get crushed. So what does that mean? It's just an opinion. I'm going to if I got a long in a certain area, I would take it, but I'm going to take triple size shorts because I've been waiting for this damn move. All right, I missed this trade, and I can't get over the crude, guys. So sorry. Hopefully you guys caught it in my trade room, and if you're following here. Anyway, if this retest, so this latest event is now bearish. We're already short pick. If this is retest, which it probably will, ATR retest confirm, I'm putting on Barks, Licks. Let's see if there's liquidity down here. Yeah, there's a nice little band here. Barks, Licks. And that could be an Izzy too, right? Because it's going to come back into that zone. Yeah, so if that comes back to that zone, I already have pick on, but if this comes back, I can put on Barks, Licks, and a move back to the pick off that buy ice event, that broken ice event. It's already a broken ice event because it showed its hand. It got an ATR below there. So I would put those on, and I'm putting them on literally 3 times size. Don't do that very often. It's usually double size, but this is the exact move I was waiting for yesterday. There was so much activity, and that we talked about this as well. In this balance area, there's some guys hurting right now. Put it that way. Lots of activity in here. So I'm expecting 0 here. I'm obviously kidding, but I'm not kidding about I think it's going to get killed. Don't know. If I start seeing bullish events, and I'll flip it. All right. In the meantime, I got to hop off this webinar. I am trailing. You can now trail your stop to this guy here. So I'll put it outside this zone. I'll move it up to 57. These are great trades so far. The pick and the Izzy are huge trades. It's like 100. This is a 100-point move already that we caught in that. I still have one of those on, and then my Barks and Licks off of this dude. I'm now trailing to this. I'm going to put it just outside this zone, 1957. What else could I do? I can add to the Barks and Licks if that happens. This just proved bearish. This guy, right? It hit the ATR. Put those on. Then I can put on more. So you can, if it does ATR retest of this guy, so you can see on a trending day, you can have multiple positions on, and all you're doing is just trailing it to the most recent event. So you can, on a day that it doesn't come back, you kill it because you got 5, 6, 7 positions on, right? And you're just risking to the most recent event, and you make money on all the other ones. So this could be one of those days. I know I'm talking crazy talk in this market. Here we go. Puke them up, baby. Puke them up. This is just the beginning of Armageddon. Sell stops. Now I can trail my stop for my pick to this. The issue now is I can't, per my rules. Remember I was waiting for an ATR retest of this guy? Well, if this pops back up here, it's going to hit the ATR. This is going to make this a bullish event. So we always default to the most recent event. So I cannot take shorts off of this anymore because that would make this a bullish event. And it is what it is. If you want to, if you're like, that's close enough, I don't care. You can do whatever you want. I do this stuff for a reason because I watched 4.2 million of these. In the meantime, I can take Barks and Licks off of that guy. And I'm still short triple size pick. So, all right, guys, that's it. A little confused today. My head has been pounding, but hopefully able to follow along. I do this every day in my trade room. We didn't get a chance to even go over all this. I'll just quickly touch on this stuff in this document. This is all the stuff that I use, right? Drawing tool. Here's the course. If you want to fast track your learning, get the course. It's pretty damn cheap in trading terms, considering what other educators, I'm doing air quotes, charge for their courses, like $5,000-$10,000. This is not. This is like $900. It's a couple, it's whatever, 10 points in ES trade equivalent. Here's a spreadsheet. If you in my room, you get this stuff by itself. I mean, you get it automatically for free. If you can't get in the trade room, you can get the spreadsheet. You can get the zone charts. You can get them combined if you want, or just the zone drawing tool is the spreadsheet drawn on the Bookmap heat map. And then we didn't even get a chance to go over all this stuff. Here's my website. Here's my email if you got questions. Here's my Twitter. Here's my trade room. All this stuff you get discounts to. Here's Apex, by the way. We didn't really get into this today. This is a gift, guys. Guys have been getting paid in my room. There's another guy got paid yesterday, or he's about to get paid. They pay. This is a great option if you want to practice this stuff. Practice, not a game. Practice this stuff. Or if don't risk your own money. It's just like having your own trading firm. You guys don't realize what a gift this is to have this. None of this stuff existed when I blew out and couldn't make money for after I was multi-million-dollar trader, as you all know, and then I went to zero. Well, there was no options. It was trade for myself or get a real job, and I had to get a real job. Now you got this. They paid. I've been posting it on the Twitter account. Guys are getting paid. I'm showing you their accounts. I got paid. I just got paid off one the other day, right? So anyway, any of these evals, use this code Pulcini50 and whatever sale they got going on, you get that discount. Highly recommended. This is the one I put my name behind. I've been using it for almost 3 years. So, all right, there you go. And then all the rest of the stuff on here is use code for Spot Gamma, Scott, Tick Strike. These are all discounts to all this stuff. Here's my review page. There's one jackass on there, like I always tell you guys. All right. So enjoy the move to zero. It'll bounce back, so don't be panicking out of your retirement funds. But today is probably going to be very ugly. All right, I will see you guys next Thursday. I do this every day in my trading room. Come on by.